briefly my answer to the first question about the experiential and hands-on learning. I'm a great believer in experiential and hands-on learning and giving our students opportunities to develop their academic skills along with those experiential skills that are necessary to be successful in life. So the more we can do to provide experiences and hands-on learning opportunities for our students, the better.
Add the part about community partnerships.
Community partnerships, yes. Because of Lopez Island's small nature, we need community partnerships in order to make those hands-on experiences more viable. So I would be excited to work with community partners to provide those opportunities for our students to learn things that we cannot teach them in the schoolhouse itself, but give them that real world experience to develop those skills. So that would be an exciting opportunity for us.
How do you characterize your ideas about outdoor learning?
How do I characterize my ideas about outdoor learning? I think that it's important for our students to have experiences outside the classroom, to work in the real world and learn in the real world. When they see things in the classroom on a whiteboard or a smart board or a computer screen, it's not as real as it is when you're out in nature and out in the world. So I think we need to create as many opportunities as possible for our students to have those outdoor experiences.
What types of outdoor learning approaches might you promote to your K-12 administrators?
What types of outdoor learning experiences might I promote to my K-12 administrators? I think that would be something that we'd look at on a subject by subject and case by case basis, and work with teachers to develop some different learning paths for students to have those outdoor experiences as part of their daily learning environment. I think it's important for us to include in that the physical well-being of our students and getting them up and moving around as a part of that outdoor process. And I think that's a very important part of a good educational environment, is providing those opportunities for students to be actively engaged both mentally and physically in the learning process. So I think that's something I can't answer specifically right now. I would need to work with the staff and administrators here to develop those practices if they aren't already in existence, or enhance those practices that may already be in existence.
How will you address the challenges of mental health recovery and learning loss in our students?
How will I address the issue of mental health recovery and learning loss
related to
our students and the pandemic? I think we need to do an assessment of where our students stand on both of those issues and develop a strategic step-by-step plan for recovery in both areas, and work with the students and work with parents and the community to provide opportunities to overcome any barriers that have been created by this pandemic experience that we've all shared. I think that's the one thing that really works in our favor, is that this is an experience we have all shared. That makes it easier for us to empathize with one another, and that makes it easier for us to work together to resolve some of those issues. Learning loss will look at where each individual is in their academic progress and develop systems that will help support them individually to achieve at the level they need to achieve at, and provide necessary supports to make up any gaps that may exist in our assessment of their standing.
Going forward, how will you re-engage parents and families in their students' learning?
Going forward, how will I re-engage parents and families in their students' learning? I think it's important that I start by building relationships with parents and families, by getting out into the community and meeting parents and families where they live and work and eat and shop, and having conversations and finding out who they are and letting them get to know me so that we develop a relationship that's an open relationship with good communication, two-way communication that allows us to work together and collaborate on solving any of the problems that we have in the school district.
How would you go about centering students' best interests and increasing transparency in the school's processes, given the many challenges facing the district in these uncertain times?
May I have that so I can read that one?
The last paragraph, last sentence.
How would you go about centering students' best interests and increasing transparency in the school's processes, given the challenges we are in the midst of?
Student centering.
Yeah, I think it's important to begin that process by communicating with students and with parents to determine what needs exist and how we can step up to meet those needs moving forward. Centering the students. I'm trying to kind of clarify in my mind exactly what's meant by that, but I'm going to make an assumption here because I don't have a way of student-focused curriculum is what we're talking about. That should be everything that we're working towards. Is our work has to center on the students, has to be focused on the students. We have to be a student-centric district. Where we are taking actions and using resources to meet the needs of our students moving forward. While I care about and will work to support our adult members of the school community as well, our first priority always has to be the students. And if there's a conflict between the adult interest and the best interest of the students, the best interests of the students are going to take sway in every situation. We have to take that approach in order to make sure we're meeting the needs of a generation that has suffered because of this pandemic more than any other. And moving forward, it's going to be important for us to create an environment for them to be successful both in academics and in life.
How will you connect with and become part of the Lopez Island community?
How will I connect with and become part of the Lopez Island community? I'm going to be out in the community. I'm going to be at community activities. I'm going to be wherever I can be to meet people, to have conversations with people, to get to know people and what their concerns are. It's very important to me that I become a part of the community if I'm offered the opportunity and the honor to take on this role. I'm here to help this school district, but I'm also here to create a home for myself and my wife. And I think it's important for us to be a vibrant part of the community to the extent that we are allowed to be. And I think over time that we will be allowed to be more and more a part of the community based on our conversations and our success in the school and in life and in working in the community. So I think that's a great question, and I'm excited about the possibility of being a part of the Lopez Island community.
How will you strengthen communication, trust, and transparency in the Lopez Island School District?
How will I strengthen communication, trust, and transparency in the Lopez Island School District? I think all of those three things go together. There's really one answer to that, and that is open, honest communication and transparency at all times. Sharing the information with the community and with staff members as soon as we're aware of it, and getting information out about what's going on in the schools and how we're dealing with issues in the schools, I think is a very important part of that. I think one of the first things that we need to do is to work on the development of a community-based strategic plan for the school district, where we involve the community and the school community in the development of a strategic plan, looking at particular issues, looking at what the community's wants and needs are, looking at identifying specific goals that the community has for the school district, and then establishing objectives, measurable objectives that allow us to work towards those goals, and then continuously monitoring our progress towards those goals and sharing that progress with the community in a transparent fashion. One of the things that I would do if we were able to put together a strategic plan in that way would be to include a strategic plan update in my report to the board at each board meeting, to let them know what progress we're making, and in turn to let the community know the progress we're making towards achieving any goals we establish for the school district. That may not always be good news. It may be something where we need to backtrack a little bit and take a different path to achieve a goal, but it's a process of reporting and looking at what we're doing and where we're being successful and where we're not being successful that allows us to continue to grow through this process and to serve our student population to the best of our ability.
If you were appointed superintendent of Lopez Island School District, what would your first 90 days look like?
If I was appointed superintendent of the Lopez Island School District, my first 90 days would be about that communication piece, about getting out into the community and listening to what people have to say, and listening to questions and concerns that people have about the past, the present, and the future of the Lopez Island School District. So I think that's an important part of that first 90 days. And then summarizing those findings as a beginning point for the strategic planning process to begin to pull those issues together and to develop that strategic plan moving forward. But I think it's most important for me to hear what different community stakeholders have to say about the school district and about the issues that we may face and about what their expectations are for the school district moving forward. We want to be a collaborative environment for the community to work with us and to help us grow in support of our students' outcomes.
Last question, about 3 minutes left. What else would you like the community to know about you as they consider you for our next superintendent?
What else would I like the community to know about me as you consider me to be your next superintendent? I want you to know that I am not looking to come to Lopez Island for a short time. I'm looking for a home. I'm looking for some place to spend the majority of the rest of my career. And I would love for that to be here in Lopez Island. I want you to know that I am a straightforward person, and I want to work with you in a collaborative way to achieve the results. I'm just humbled to even have this opportunity to interview for this job. And I believe that my broad base of experience and knowledge would serve the Lopez Island School District extremely well. And I would love the opportunity to put that experience and knowledge to work on your behalf. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Ed. That was great. I'd like to remind everybody about the online survey that enables you to provide input for the board as they deliberate over our two candidates and help them make a selection. And I want to thank everybody for their time, and we'll conclude this session. And Ed has 2 more activities before he leaves the island for today. Thank you very much. Bye.